On this edition of the program, the shutdown continues. A horrifying attack in Manchester, United Kingdom at a synagogue on Yom Kippur. And we have a long conversation with my mom, Gloria Young, one of the fan favorites on this show that boycotted me for a year and a half. Find out why. It's all coming up.
The following is brought to you by Just Another Pilot.
Hello and welcome everybody to the Politics program for Friday, October 3rd, 2025. Your old pal Justin Robert Young joining you from the lovely rolling hills of the East Bay, California. I'm out here on business. I'll be out here until the end of the week. So you'll probably get one more episode in the free feed from me live from the East Bay. But we got some news here that is pretty grisly. 2 people killed, 3 others seriously wounded in a Yom Kippur synagogue attack in Manchester, England. Police shot the suspect dead within minutes, confirming his identity, which is known but being withheld. Authorities have declared a terror emergency, and Prime Minister Keir Starmer condemned anti-Semitism, pledging stronger security and national solidarity. Obviously, anytime that you have a horrifying attack like that, it's got to lead. And so, especially to all of our Jewish viewers and listeners, obviously, this is one of the most respected days of the year in the Jewish calendar. My condolences. Here in the United States of America, the shutdown continues. We'll have more on that in the update, along with a big bailout hint on when farmers might get bailed out by way of tariff money. But that'll come up in the update. What's going to happen now is a conversation that I had with my mom, Gloria Young, one of the most revered recurring guests on this show. And as you are going to hear, this episode could only happen now. I try to do my best to portray this podcast as a sane way to stay informed on the news. And sometimes it might not be exactly to everybody's liking, but I do my best to have my principles, have my morals, and have how I report the news to be something that matters, that I think about. And I love to have my mom on because, she's lovable. Look, I love her. It's not a shock that other people do too. Those 2 things clashed last year, and I didn't talk about it on the show. We are going to talk about it now. So let's go ahead and start that. It is my honor and privilege on Listener Appreciation Month to bring back the most appreciated guest, at least in the one that I hear the most about. And that is the one, the only, Gloria Young, my mom. How you doing, Mom?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here.
It's good to have you back on the show.
Well, thank you. It's been a while.
Yeah, I guess. Wow, about a year, right?
More than that. Yep.
I guess, were you on last? Well, it was a bit of a controversial thing.
Yes, it was.
In the family.
Yes, it was.
I got a talking to.
Yes, you did.
Well, let's start there, because I do think that I did promise you a rebuttal because you did not feel that you got a fair shake the last time that you were on the show.
You definitely directed me toward the topics and subject matter that the way you wanted it to go.
I mean, it is my show.
That's true.
Yeah.
But, I was your guest.
You were my guest. What did you not get to that you wanted to get to?
Oh, I wanted to render my opinions on the candidate at the time. But, you didn't give me
I thought that you
opportunity.
got your point across.
No, you didn't. No, I didn't.
You did not. No. Not to the point that you were satisfied.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So there's no other. I think the last time that we talked, you said that you were that you did not feel that you had ample runway to explain your position.
Yes.
And I offered that you would have the ability to do it. But now I guess time has too far gone.
Well, the point is moot at this point.
The point is moot.
Yes, because the last time we spoke, it was well before the election. I don't know, maybe 5-6 months before the election. And I had some very strong opinions.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it was already, I can't remember whether or not it was before
Was Biden
Kamala.
out yet?
I can't remember. I don't think so.
I think we were at the point. That might have been why it was so fraught.
Yeah.
Was that we were at the point where the pressure was building on Biden. And
yes.
I was curious. The reason why I think I pushed you in that one was because if there's one thing that you have been very consistent on, it is that older candidates need to knock it off and step down.
Oh, no question about it.
And this, I think I brought you on under the mistaken impression that was going to be a big takeaway for you, that you were going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe it. We're going to lose this election if this old guy doesn't get off the stage. And I think I underestimated how much you were dialed in on like, it doesn't matter. The only thing we should be talking about is Trump.
To not elect him. I mean, and again, I think I remember saying in that interview that I agreed Biden was too old.
Yeah.
But I thought that Trump was too dangerous.
Yes.
And when you weigh the two, I just thought that the old Biden would be better than dangerous Trump.
Yeah.
And you didn't give me really the opportunity to enhance that mindset. So, but that's okay. I've forgiven you.
Thank you. With the endless compassion of a mother.
I have forgiven you.
One of the many times that I have tried your patience and you have found it within yourself
to forgive you. Yes, that's a good.
Good to see that even at 40, I still got it after all these years. I can still rile you up like I once did in my teens.
That you've never lost that art. No question about it. So
then catch us up. How, I mean, obviously you have, the floor is yours if you would like to talk more about how terrible Trump was, but,
no, I mean, I don't want to dwell on that anymore.
We can talk. I was curious your thoughts on the job that Kamala did in hindsight, now a year away.
I thought she did an amazing job. I thought she really fired up the electorate. I thought that, the crowds and the people and her message, I thought she did an amazing job in such a short period of time.
I'm reading her book now.
Are you really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's interesting. I should pick it up.
She's more honest than politicians usually are, which means that she's kind of, I don't know how much it would read to somebody who hasn't read a million of these books where you can kind of know.
Where you can compare.
Well, it's like everybody in the political world reads these books because they want to know where the public understanding of success and blame goes. Mm-hmm. So you read these books and usually it's like, all right, for the winning campaign, who gets mentioned the most as the reason why they won, right? And then on the losing campaign, it's why did they lose?
Right.
And who was giving the bad.
Who was at fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is her book is like 129 days?
107 days.
107 days.
She'd be very mad at you for giving her an extra 20 days.
22 days. Yeah. No, I did see, I think she was on PBS or something. She did a brief interview before her book. It was like just before her book was released.
Yeah.
So I did get a few little blurbs on it. But
it kind of reveals, in my opinion, that one of the problems that the Democrats have is that they are so insular in talking to each other that sometimes when they then talk to the rest of the world, it sounds odd because they're being honest. They're saying the thing that they were saying internally.
Right.
But they haven't really thought how it sounds when it's outside.
Well, it doesn't always play well to the outside world.
So, for example, she says she would have picked Pete Buttigieg as her vice president.
Okay.
But she didn't think America was ready for a gay vice president and a black woman president.
And she's absolutely right. Unfortunately, that's exactly the case. And I'm really sorry to hear that.
I don't know that's the case.
I mean,
I think it's all up to how you run the campaign, and you have to make. I think if anything, the Democrats love the most the first thing. They love the idea of like, here's a reason to go vote. We're gonna put a gay guy in the White House.
Yeah. Well, I mean, unfortunately, I wish that we could all learn to look past that type of a prejudice. But I don't think there's just too many people out there that are just not ready yet for a woman president and a gay president. I mean, look, Pete Buttigieg is one of the most competent, well-educated. I mean, I still am a huge fan.
You have been a Mayor Pete stan
fan.
Forever. Yeah.
Would love to see him run again, but I don't think America is ready for it.
But did you think that America was ready for Obama before Obama?
You know, I'm not sure. I don't remember my mindset at that point. I do remember just listening to him and being incredibly impressed. And I was just able to look past the fact that he was a black man. It didn't matter to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, America was, as it turned out.
He was
the majority of America.
Eloquent. He made so much sense. He was logical, and he just had it all going on. I mean, he was incredibly competent. But the gay man, I don't know. I just don't know
why. Again, this is not necessarily whether or not in your heart of hearts, when you're in like the war room and you're deciding whether or not that's a thing that you say. I think certainly you are saying that when you are talking about your decision to pick people, especially because, you know, there's a lot that goes into picking a vice president. I don't know if you say it out loud. Like, I don't know if you're like, I was too cowardly to pick a gay person, and it's because you're homophobic.
I don't think anyone would say it out loud, but when they get into the voting booth, then it's all.
No, I'm talking about Kamala, like to write it in her book. To say all right, because what does it really come down to? Like, I was scared of the homophobes.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right. It's
true.
Like, what kind of message is that? You know, either keep that one close to the.
Yeah, I don't know that I would have put it in the book.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right about that.
But she's very, like, there's been a lot of back and forth on, even during the campaign, when Biden was losing support within the party, his people were calling around and saying, like, look, you either stick with Biden or you lose with Kamala, because Kamala is less popular than Joe Biden.
Right.
And she's very aware of that. She writes about that in her book. She points out that Jill Biden hates her, which is a well-known thing.
Joe Biden hates her?
Jill.
Oh, Jill Biden.
Jill Biden hates her. Yes. Jill Biden never forgave her for calling Joe a racist.
From the debate early on. Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
She gives voice to that.
Okay.
Well, the way she put it in the passage that I read was, we were very interested to be invited to the 4th of July celebration, because every other 4th of July, this is the only one that they got invited to, was the election year one, is that every other 4th of July, we were never invited. And so we did our own thing in California. Mm-hmm. But now all of a sudden the question was, is Joe gonna not be it? So they wanted to put those two together. So they seemed very friendly together.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Biden's team is like calling around saying, hey, she sucks. You're gonna go down in flames, blah, blah, blah. So there's a little, and then there's like under the radar sniping at the Obamas, because the Obamas wanted either a convention fight or a mini primary after Biden left, because they didn't believe in Kamala.
Oh, interesting.
And so they wanted a whole nother thing. And so she makes a big point at how much the Clintons immediately backed her, how much Joe Biden immediately backed her, how much all these other people, and conspicuous by their absence. She mentions like the Obamas said like, oh, we can't back you right now, but.
Right. Right. Well.
So it's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm certainly sad that the election results turned out as they did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still extremely concerned. At the time, I was traumatized.
Yes.
So much so that I withdrew from family and friends.
Yeah.
And
you were like, I mean, this is something that I don't know if I certainly did not say it about you, but you were a concern afterward.
Was.
Like
I was almost suicidal.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like it was,
I was extremely traumatized.
Things came out of your mouth that I was very, very, very dismayed by.
I'm sure. And I'm sorry that I worried everyone. I probably would never have done some of the things that crossed my mind, but
I think you were just
extremely traumatized.
But you initially didn't want to come.
I didn't even want to come to.
You were
Austin.
scheduled to come visit.
Yeah, right after my birthday. Right after the election, which was my birthday. My birthday was November 14th, and the election I think was the 4th.
And this was going to be the first time you were meeting your granddaughter. And it was the
first time I was going to meet little Bella.
Mm-hmm.
And
you initially said, "I'm not coming."
I'm not coming because I was so emotional. I was crying constantly.
Yeah.
And the reason why I was so upset was because of my grandchildren and my concern for my grandchildren's future.
Yeah.
And I just imagined myself picking up my brand new little granddaughter and getting incredibly emotional and breaking down, and because I was very fragile at the time. And I was very concerned that I would just break down and melt down and be more of a hindrance and a scare to her than I would be a comforting Nona.
Have you ever been that invested in an election?
Never.
Why do you think it took that one for that to happen?
Because of the candidate. Because of that man. This man.
So it is the reaction to Trump.
Yes. I mean, we all had a very 4-year preview.
Yeah.
And that was the more harmless Trump. And I knew that if he got in again, that there would be a whole different picture. And I'm right.
Yeah.
Everything I was worried about is coming to fruition today.
Yeah.
So, I feel like I was not completely off the wall with my concerns and my worries and my fears and my trauma. Because I'm seeing it play out almost daily. And it continues to worry me. And again, it's not so much for me. It's all about my grandchildren and their future and the future of this country and the future of our democracy. And that's why I had to limit my social media.
So yeah, we're going to get to that. I want one more question on this. Is there any election that came anywhere close previous?
Only the Bush Gore election.
2000.
Yeah. But that was just because
I don't remember you being anywhere close to dial. I think I was more dialed in on that election.
That's what I'm saying. That was the closest that I've ever come to being upset about an election, simply because I thought that George Bush was just stupid.
Yes.
I just thought he was ignorant.
Yeah.
But he wasn't dangerous. So I was upset the way that whole election played out, especially at the very end through the courts with the hanging chads and all that nonsense.
And that was in our backyard too.
Yes,
so it was a very, very present.
And we were very close to it. Yeah. It was on the local news. You know, it was all about Florida.
Yeah.
But that was the closest I've ever come to being upset about the results of an election. Never before.
And that was, I mean, I would, as somebody who was near you for both, I would register that level of concern at maybe a 2.5. Oh. And this one at a 50.5.
No question. There's no question. No question. The Trump election this time, the 2024 election was just mind-boggling for me. It was mind-boggling that we reelected a man.
I remember you being pretty disconcerted about the 2016 election with Trump, but that was almost more on a level of, and I don't think that you were alone in this, but there was like something kind of deeply painful for women. To see like, oh, here is an accomplished woman that played by the rules.
Yes.
And now this out of nowhere game show host asshole just
barrels
wins
his way
at the 11th hour. In that always the way, oh, these men.
That one was concerning for me, and it was certainly, I was upset about it.
I remember you being more depressed about that than the 2000 election.
Oh, again, no comparison.
Yeah.
No comparison. But as much as I thought that, Trump would be an ineffective president in 2016 and that Hillary was way more qualified, I still didn't realize how dangerous he was or he might become. But once we had 4 years of him and we saw the kind of games that he played and his crippling narcissistic ways, then I realized that it wasn't really this country or the people that he cared about. It was himself.
Yeah.
And his only motivation was self-preservation the second time around.
That's a very interesting thing because it's one of the identifiers of this kind of like dual reality that we exist in this country, where that literally like almost that sentence is something that you hear almost verbatim among either liberal leaning or Democratic voters. And you hear almost the exact opposite.
From the other side.
Yeah. That he is selfless. If anything, that nobody has given more, and no one has sacrificed more than he has.
And see, those kind of comments are just absolutely mind-boggling.
It just shows you we're just in kind of two different total silos. Yeah.
It's really mind-boggling. And this is all due to social media.
So let's get to that. You have a deep, deep, deep emotional reaction to the election. At what point you do decide, for the record, to come out and see the baby?
Yes. And we just didn't talk about politics.
I was very happy.
Except we did have a heart-to-heart talk where I told you how upset you made me.
Yes.
So
and then I heard it again at another family vacation a few months later. So we got it all out eventually. But at what point do you say, all right, there's something in this reaction that I can control. This isn't just a thing that happened that I am prisoner to this reaction. Yeah. I have to take some responsibility for it.
I have to admit, part of it was you.
Okay.
Because when I did come out here, we did briefly discuss, my pain, and you asked me, what are you watching? Yeah. What are you looking at?
Yeah.
And I think I had mentioned the Midas touch and maybe a couple of other things.
Yeah.
And, and I think I
was more dismissive of some than others.
You were. And I think when you came out and you had some very good points about those different things that I was listening to or watching. And I realized that I needed to think about that a little bit more. So I started, first of all, I put myself on a very strict diet.
Okay. An information diet.
Yes.
Yes.
And, the first thing I did was I stopped looking at Facebook, stopped looking at Instagram. I stopped looking at X. As a matter of fact, I even took some of those things off of my devices.
Remove them.
Removed the apps.
Yeah.
Because
so you don't have the mindless, like, let me just
oh my
dopamine.
God, out of habit, you open it up and you look at it every day.
I have to do that, by the way. I've taken X off. The two that I get stuck in the most are Reddit and X.
Yeah.
And I've taken them off my phone. Every once in a while, I will go to the websites if there's something that I need to get, or if it's like something like the Kirk shooting or the Kimmel stuff, where it's like there's a lot of stuff that's like breaking. Yeah. Like I'll go there, but I try not to go there to pass the time.
Right. Because it's not like you're just going to scroll and. And
Reddit, I can't. Like, even though it's phenomenal for a lot of niche topics, like I am less well informed on the NBA and pro wrestling and the things that I normally followed on Reddit. Like, it is such a hive mind that like I can't be there. And also it's like, not only am I addicted to scrolling for the next thing, but also then I'll get annoyed. And so then I'm like, why am I spending all my time here to get mad?
Yeah.
Like, that's like the worst.
It's like, not like you're fulfilling yourself or making yourself happier or smarter.
It's like I go to a haunted house to get kicked in the shin.
Right.
It's like where every scare is like a kick in the shin. And then I'm like missing my work and like I'm missing picking up Bella. Like, it's like, where are you? I'm getting kicked in the shin. I'm so mad and I can't leave.
Yeah. And that's certainly a good reason to not look at that anymore. So anyway, that's basically what I did. I just put myself on a very strict diet. And in fact, I didn't even look at any news. No news at all.
Yeah.
It took me months before I would even turn on the news again. And when I did, it was a limited amount of like PBS. I didn't go to MSNBC. I didn't go to ABC, CBS. I just watched PBS limited.
I wish, honestly, that I could give you a television broadcast that I would think is nutritious. But it's like, there's no television broadcast where it's like, where it doesn't, when I watch it, not from a partisan point of view, but from like a news value point of view of like having put together news copy, having put together where you're focusing the story, like what
you're
you would write out.
You like, know what's good and bad.
It's like, it's all slanted.
I know
like
it's
all there, like, and not in even like a sensationalistic way. Like when we were growing up, Channel 7, the Fox affiliate in South Florida, had the reputation for like, if it bleeds, it leads. And it was sex and scandal and money and murder and like all the things that you would think about Miami, like being the Miami affiliate. There was plenty of that there. And WSBN leaned more into that than like.
They were always more sensationalist.
But it's like, it's not even that with like, I just did this audiobook for a friend of the show, frequent guest, Michael D. Cohen. And he wrote the book on the modern political campaign. Mm-hmm. And there was a chapter about messaging. Looks like we might have a cameo here.
Uh-oh.
Do we have a cameo?
Here comes the little one.
No, now you have to do the cameo.
You gotta bring her in.
Sorry, I thought I had
Hi, Bella. Hi, Bella. She's gonna make a little cameo appearance.
Just make a little cameo.
Come on, Bella. Come see Nona. Come see Nona. Oh, there's my girl.
Oh.
There's my girl.
Are you excited?
There's my girl.
Excited for Nona?
She is excited to be here with me, right?
I know.
Yeah.
Can you talk into the mic? Ba 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 ba
ba ba
ba ba ba ba ba ba ba
ba ba ba.
She's transfixed by the monitor.
She is. She's just looking at herself in the monitor. All right, mommy. Back to mommy.
Okay.
She's my pride and joy.
I know.
No,
it's
don't be
okay.
sorry.
It's okay. But yeah, it's All right. So in this book, they were like, well, the biggest difference in trying to get your message on television is that before, in the 80s and 90s, there would be 15 minutes of politics on in an hour. Mm-hmm. So you had to work really, really hard, because that probably means maybe 3 guests at the most that you're going to get for that 15 minutes in an hour's worth of news. Now
it's politics.
60 minutes.
Yeah.
Like the PBS News is like
almost at the last 10 or 15 minutes, they do like the arts.
Yeah. And also an opera happened. Right. But it's crazy. It's like now the most niche stuff that I would follow as a political junkie gets covered like it is the biggest story in America every single night by broadcast television news in a way that it never used to before. And whenever you expand the surface area all that much, like, you don't have an ability to be objective, because you have to start filling it with the point of view of either party. And once you do that, like, they're not incentivized to tell you an objective truth. Yeah. They're incentivized to tell you their version of the truth. Like that's what's happening as we record this. It's Tuesday, but the government's going to shut down tonight. And so everybody is spinning their version of why
whose fault it is.
The government's shutting down. Right. Now, theoretically, it is the role of the journalist to say, here are these facts. Here is what happened. Right. Here is what's happened in the past. Yeah. Here's how it's been characterized. Here's how the polling has gone on who blames who. Like, let's give you context to this, as opposed to this Groundhog Day where it's like the government shutting down. Totally new phenomenon. Yeah. We have no idea what unique circumstances has brought this about.
We've never encountered this before.
And meanwhile,
somebody always has to be to blame. There always has to be a blame.
Yes.
Right.
Or it's like you have situations like, you had this horrible situation that happened in Michigan 2 days ago, where a guy broke into an LDS church, shot up a bunch of people, wound up burning it down. Right.
I didn't even know that happened, because I haven't been consuming any news since I've been here.
But even then, in a bygone era, that would have been a major story. The big story.
Sure.
And it would have been okay. Like, so now we've had a church shooting in Minnesota. We have a church shooting and firebombing here. Like, is this a rash? I mean, like, there's a million different kinds of stories that I think
you could make out of those. Right. Events.
And instead, because it comes on the heels of a very political murder with Charlie Kirk, now it's like, oh, he was a Trump supporter.
Right.
And so it's like, we're now making a thing that was not necessarily political. And I know, who knows, his manifesto might be like, Trump told me to kill the Mormons or whatever, or like, I hate Mitt Romney so much that I killed a bunch of Mormons. Who knows? So far, we don't know. And so, like, there's no reason to cover it like that. And yet it becomes political.
They make it political.
And it's like, for me, it's insane, because I study politics. I know that politics will grab whatever they can out of the headlines to make it a thing.
And run with it.
Because politics itself is boring.
Right. It's true.
So you need to involve other stuff. And so now the fact that it's like everything is political, which means everything has to be life or death, which means everything has to be like,
one
oh my God, this
other.
is but also the pressure, like the rhetoric is like at just kind of this all-time high, because you can't keep people entertained in what is charitably a thing that you should probably care about once every 2 years, if not once every 4 years. You can't do that without being like, like everything's got to be this like in a white frenzy. Knuckle. Yeah.
A frenzy. Yep. Yeah, because there's no question about it. And keeping everybody in a frenzy keeps everybody very engaged in whatever avenue or, place that you're going to consume this frenzied information. And it just perpetuates.
This This is your update, brought to you by TakePoliticsSeriously.com. Head on over there right now. Get 2 bonus episodes each and every week. The shutdown rolls on. Senate Majority Leader John Thune says it is unlikely that the Senate will vote this weekend, ensuring the government shutdown extends into next week. That is if there is not any surprises that happen on Friday morning. He criticized Democrats for demanding an extension of the Affordable Care Act subsidies and a stopgap bill and insisted negotiations must start when they reopen the government. Minority Leader Chuck Schumer urged Republicans to work with Democrats, predicting GOP unity would falter as the shutdown drags on. Some Democrats have floated an alternative, like a full year appropriations or a shorter extension ending November 1st, but Thune has dismissed those as minor quibbles, rejecting any straight extension of the ACA subsidies. All right, so a few things real quick. The only stuff that you really need to pay attention to here are whenever they vote, the Senate votes, how many more Democrats vote with the Republicans. 3 voted with them last time. Rand Paul does not like continuing resolutions, so he is a Republican vote that will not vote for it. So that means normally the Republicans, they have 53 plus the tiebreaker in J.D. Vance. They would normally need 7 to get to 60. Now they're going to need 8 to get to 60. And that way Vance would be able to break the tie. So if 3 have already voted with the Republicans, you're going to assume that they are going to continue to vote with the Republicans. And at that point, you begin to get a sense of where this is going. I don't care what Chuck Schumer says. The Democrats have no hand. Everything that they are talking about can and will be negotiated after the government reopens. It doesn't have to be dealt with right now. The only reason that the government is shut down right now is because Chuck Schumer will get fired as the leader of his caucus if he does not fight and quote unquote do something. I don't believe the Democrats are built for shutdowns. There's a reason why they don't do it. Maybe I'm wrong. We're going to find out. The Democrats certainly seem to be posturing like this is going to continue. I believe that the way this ends is rank and file Democrats have to, quote unquote, embarrass Chuck Schumer. I don't think he is going to be embarrassed. I think he wants this shutdown to end, but it ain't going to happen over the weekend, which means when Monday rolls around, you're going to start to see more of the Russ Vought of it all. Actual pain coming to furloughed or fired employees. If this lasts late into next week, you will see cuts to the federal workforce that will rival what happened with Doge. Just going to tell you. So the only thing that you need to pay attention to, I know that you guys like a shorthand here. Every time they vote, did more than 3 Democrats vote with the Republicans? That's all you need to pay attention to. That's the only way this is going. Reject any of the other information war. And specifically reject anything that Chuck Schumer is saying. He's going to do his best, but he's got no hand. Former Representative Abigail Spanberger leads Virginia Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears by 10 points in the Virginia governor's race, 52-42, per an Emerson College The Hill survey conducted September 28th and 29th. Early voting is already underway in that state with over 146,000 ballots already cast. Spanberger holds a 60-38 edge among those who have already voted and leads 50-43 among those who have yet to vote. This, according to that survey. Her gains have come from independents, men, and younger voters. Independents now back her by 19 points. Men are evenly split, and voters under 50 favor her by 27 points. Decision Desk's average shows her ahead 50.1 to 43.1. A reminder, the party that isn't the president wins the Virginia governor's race at an alarmingly consistent rate. So history would tell you that Spanberger is going to win. I don't make the rules. I just follow the historical trends. I would bet Spanberger here. The only thing that really Winsome Earl Seals has in her favor right now is that Spanberger, like many Democrats, have continued to struggle on the men and women's sports thing. It's a culture war issue. It's not a kitchen table issue. But is that enough? I don't think so. Northern Virginia is a very government dependent area of the country, a DC adjacent area. They're very mad at the president of the United States. And I think Winsome Sears is going to be punished. Add on to the fact that I don't think she's a great candidate. I don't think Spanberger's a great candidate. This is not exactly, bird versus magic here. But I would much rather be Spanberger than Sears. And finally, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said the Trump administration will announce substantial support for U.S. farmers next week, likely funded by tariff revenue. The farm sector, especially soybean growers, has been hit hard as China has halted U.S. soybean purchases during their trade war. Bessent accused Beijing of using farmers as hostages in negotiation, but pledged aid, noting their loyalty to Trump. He discussed the plan with the President and Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins. While details and costs have remained unclear, the administration signaled payouts are coming, even as Argentina's discounted soybean sales to China have stoked tension as they have undercutted U.S. farmers. Big question. Hey, Malay, the hell you doing over there? Bailouts are back. Bailouts are back. And anybody who thinks that this is inconsistent with the Trump worldview has not been paying attention to Donald Trump for the last 10 years, because he does not care about using the federal government's pocketbook to shape the world as he believes it should be. He is not a fiscal hawk in that way. He simply isn't. And that's your update. TakePoliticsSeriously.com, where you need to go if you want to get 2 bonus episodes each and every week. And now, back to my mom.
And then you get into, and so the 2 things that I was very proud that you cut down on were Facebook.
Yes.
And YouTube.
Yes. I don't look at Midas Touch at all anymore. Not at all.
I don't like them. And I don't like them for this reason. Well, I'll put it this way. They exist in a sphere of propagandists for a position. Mm-hmm. That is their job. They are the sons of funders to the Democratic Party.
To the Democratic Party, yeah.
They have found themselves in a rocky media world as gaining influence.
They have a ton of subscribers. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of people that follow them.
They've largely been able to escape the fact that I think 2 of them interned for Diddy during the times that he was, eventually rung up on charges.
Know.
Oh, yeah. Something that
kind of kept that under the carpet.
One of them listed his internship with Diddy as one of the most important experiences of his life.
Okay.
Now, that was back when that was a good quote.
When that was a good thing, right?
But still, I'm sure they've kept their hands clean of the baby oil, and that has been good for them. But again, it's like, it would be the same thing if somebody just told me like, oh, here, I only listen to these kinds of positions or these kind of shows on the right, where it's like, okay, well, then I know where your opinion comes from. Right. And the only thing that I would say is the difference between the 2 is because right-wing media exists as a answer to left-wing media. So if you listen to a lot of right-wing media, a large portion of it is pulling clips from left-wing media.
And debating it or putting it in a different
slamming
perspective.
It, telling you. Everything in right-wing media, beginning at AM radio, probably beginning before that, right, is the mainstream media is mostly liberal. They are lying to you. Here is the truth. ...
Right.
And that's been Rush Limbaugh. That's been the YouTube ecosystem. That's been everything on the right-wing media. But for that to make sense, you need to watch liberal stuff. Because you need to watch the fact that like, oh, here's where I'm being lied to.
Look at what they're
What's
doing.
the truth?
Yeah.
Right? Where liberal media, very confident in the fact that they set the agenda, just kind of dulls their story. Like there's not, unless something gets gigantic on the right, it's rarer that they will spend half the show picking clips from another, from a right-wing equivalent.
Right.
And debunking it or saying like, yes, and, but, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. No,
If
I know what you
anything,
mean.
if a clip gets played, it's almost quickly dismissed at its face. It's just like, well, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like blah, blah, blah. And then you just move forward.
Yeah.
But it's weird, and then it contributes to these silos.
It absolutely. And that really concerns me.
I echo you.
I mean, I don't know how, I don't see how we're going to get out of that, because social media is not going away.
No.
And we're only going to have more and more people, YouTubers and everybody else, voicing their opinions and looking for subscribers and telling people what they want to hear. And I just don't see how we're going to break away. People are too addicted to social media to give it up.
I hope
it's like alcoholism or gambling or drugs. It's literally, it's an addiction.
I hope that there are different ways in which we get news that are emerging. And I think separating news from making social media more where you discuss news and not where you get news,
it or hear about it. Right.
I think is a positive thing.
Yeah.
And like, I look at stuff like the virtual assistants and ChatGPT and stuff like that. And it's like, all right, if I could, does the ability for that to exist mean that you are now incentivized just to get more factual news out there? Or like, absent the social reinforcement of I must be this liberal or I must be this conservative or I am on the outs, I am in the out group, just left to your own devices, where do you want to dial, the information there?
Right.
Because like when everything is tied to an argument, which is what it is on social media, there is an argument that is going on.
Yep.
And so you are more incentivized to find the thing that wins your side, the argument.
And that's also it's not just a discussion point. It's an argument.
Yes.
It's not just like, hey, because the bottom line is most everyone in this country, whether you're right, left, in the middle, and one end or the other, most people want the same things. Most everyone wants to live in a free society, to be able to do what they want to do, worship who they want to worship, love who they want to love. They just want peace. They want their children to be safe.
Yep.
We can all
They want a little bit more money in their pocket.
Yeah, we can all agree on most basic things. But because of social media, it's become this war between two sides, and you have to pick a side. And it's that's not necessary. I just wish that we could all, let's take 20 different people from different parts of the world or different parts of the country, put them all together in a room, and let's just talk about what do we agree on.
Yeah.
Let's stop talking about what we disagree. Let's just talk about what we agree on and then go from there. If we all agree that we want our children to be safe when we send them to school or church or synagogue or wherever they may go, then how are we going to make that happen?
Yeah, I mean, the problem is that that's the role of either us, the people that are doing it ourselves. We are organizing it. We have the discipline. We are trying to make bridges and not walls or whatever, which is very high-minded, and who has time for that? Or it is a portion of our media that is trying to shape that, like, here's what a dialogue looks like. here's somebody with an opinion, here's somebody else with another opinion. They're going to have a spirited yet respectful discussion.
Right.
And then
and maybe in the end, we can come out with a few things that we mutually agree.
Or just by way of the
positive.
Conversation, everybody can understand, okay, well, this is,
or I
that's
understand,
too far, that's close. That's,
I understand your point of view a little better. Maybe you understand my point of view a little better. You know.
See, but that's the thing. Is like
at
the when it becomes politics, you can't agree.
I know. And that's,
this is one of the things in 1960 with Kennedy and Nixon.
Right.
Part of the reason why Kennedy wins that debate is because Nixon, while very savvy with television for his age, does not understand in an intuitive way, the way that Kennedy does, that he is not demonstrating debate prowess in front of an audience the way he would a physical audience. It just happens to be a TV audience. Mm-hmm. He is supposed to talk directly to the audience. And when you are talking directly to the audience, the other debater is a nuisance.
Right.
You push them away,
right,
you ridicule them, or you belittle their point, but you're mostly talking like dead on to the camera. That is it. And so what Kennedy realizes that he just needs to make his point, and that's it. Where Nixon is agreeing a lot, especially early on. He is, in the way that you would in Oxford style debate, he is saying like, well, to my, what person, I agree on the following points, because he thinks he has time to weave this grand narrative where it's like, all right, even with your points, you're even wrong about your points because you don't understand this thing. Oh my God, the big brain on Nixon, let's all reward him. He doesn't realize that television is the idiot box. It is like rapid fire, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And now everything is that.
Yeah.
Everything is a televised debate, which is a fake staged version of an actual conversation.
Yeah.
Where you are talking directly past the person that is
Who
next to
you're debating.
you. You are talking directly to somebody else that is watching you, and that's what's engaging. That's what's exciting. Mm-hmm. And so we'll never get to a world where we trust political actors to shape debate. It's not their job.
Yeah.
It's like trusting, loan sharks with our banks. Like,
I know. I just don't know how it's all gonna play out.
I mean, also we might, I'm very much a believer that we get what we want. Like whether or not it's good for us, different story, but we tend to get what we want. And when we feel under threat, when we feel like then all we want to do is win the argument. Mm-hmm. The last thing you want to do if you feel like super like fired up about something is to have somebody calmly explain that you're wrong. Right.
You don't want to give up and you don't want to listen to the other
What's
person.
the fastest way to piss somebody off when you're being cranky? For somebody to call you cranky.
Yeah.
Or somebody when you are really, really panicking about somebody, for somebody to say,
don't worry.
Yeah. Why are you worrying so much? Like, fuck you.
Right. That's true.
So it's true. Like, I don't know. I always kind of like hope lately that it's like, all right, at a certain point, everyone's going to get so worked up about the election that we're going to go back to the way that it used to be, where it's mostly just the nerds that pay attention.
That really care.
Obviously, that's not possible with Trump.
Not right now.
It's not possible in a world where politics is the number one news monoculture thing. It's the only thing that we all care about.
Right.
Everything else is various versions of niche media.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really just a whole new world. And I'll be very curious to see how things go in the midterms and the next 2028.
When did you stop listening to my show? During the election.
Oh, right after that interview.
That was it.
That was it. You pissed me off.
I was
so
shocked
bad.
that it lasted that long.
You pissed me off so bad. I'm like, I'm not listening to you anymore. I'll show you. Even though you're my son.
I know. I know.
I had to show you.
I mean, yeah, it was understandable. It was understandable. Have you listened again since?
Every once in a while.
I would not encourage it.
Every once in a while.
I'll tell you when there's good guests.
Well, I mean, all your guests are worthwhile.
The guests aren't the problem, asshole.
No.
You are.
No. It's just, again, I mean, because I am limiting my input, especially with political news, I'm even limiting your input.
No, I encourage it. I very much encourage it.
I'm not selective.
It is not something where, again, if you don't care about parliamentary politics, if you don't care about the way that Congress moves, which is boring as hell. I would say maybe 15,000 people in America, including the people that are in Congress, actually care about the machinations of Congress.
Of how Congress works. Right.
People care about issues.
But they don't understand.
If I were to tell you, okay, every Democratic issue, nothing's going to happen. 2 years. You got 2 years where the best you can hope for is that an issue you care about isn't pushed back
a little bit further.
And to be totally honest, you might as well just wait for 2 years to see where it ended up. You don't need to torture yourself to rake yourself against the pavement for every inch. Trust me, there'll be plenty of people, hundreds of millions of dollars will be spent to educate you in the most graphic details possible how far these issues were pushed back because they are going to want you to get to the polls. You're not going to miss it.
Right.
Right. If you are on the right side, then it's okay, of everything that you care about, pick 2 or 3 that are actually going to move forward. I will say this administration has been more activist than others. So there's been more things that have at least gotten fake lip service things to them. But even then, there's been a lot of stuff that has pissed people off on the right. Yeah. That has been done.
Yeah.
Because it's a weird coalition. The Trump coalition is super weird.
Yeah.
It's Silicon Valley bros and hard anti-immigration people and the Maha, don't put iodine dye in my fish sticks or whatever. It's those are all a bunch of groups that don't necessarily have a ton
of things in common, of course.
And so it's trust me, you're just going to be able to wait 2 years unless you're a sicko. If you're a sicko like me and you mostly just want to endlessly think about the political and electoral ramifications, then I got a show for you. It's mine.
Right.
I'm making a show for me that hopefully other
people will enjoy. Yep.
But it's not for everybody. And I don't know if I would be able to do a show where I had to constantly
be on one side of the
Well, I know I probably would not be able to do if I did it. Really, I'd be able to do it if I could buy a jet. If I could get really big, if I could buy a jet, but there's no guarantee. The saddest thing would be I go full one side and I make about the same amount of money that I make right now. That would be the worst. That would be, talk about the darkest thoughts that you had. I would have darker thoughts.
Aww.
To sell my soul and then to be I get an extra $5,000 a year. Oh my God, it would be the worst.
No, you're too strong with your opinions, and you voice your opinions as you see fit on your show. And I have to respect that. But again, it's not just you.
No.
I'm limiting pretty much everything that I listen to, watch, read, for my mental health.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to concentrate on being a good Nona.
You are. And you are an excellent Nona.
Yeah.
You've been here for how many days?
2.5.
No.
I got here Saturday. What's today? Saturday?
Tuesday.
Sunday, Monday. Oh, 4 days. What?
4
3
days.
and a half.
3.5 days.
3.5 days.
What's surprised you the most about your granddaughter since the last time you saw her?
Oh, she eats.
She
eats better than most adults. This girl can put away food like there's no tomorrow. She impresses the hell out of me with how much she eats and how well she eats and how well she feeds herself.
What is something, last thing, heading out the door, what is something that is, because you have now seen up close and personal, me, my brother, raised obviously as children, your children, my brother's 2 kids that were raised, and now Bella. What is one thing that is consistent among all of the young children, and one thing that Bella is unique at this age?
Well, first of all, you and Eric are both amazing dads.
Oh,
I could not be more proud of what great dads you are. You participate, you help, you do everything, and that just warms my heart.
I'm taking by omission that our father did not have quite the same participatory record.
He did not, to say the least. So I am incredibly proud of how amazing you both are as being dads and husbands, and I'm very proud of that. Bella, I would say the one thing, I'm telling you, it goes back to her eating habits. Jackson and Riley.
She's not a picky eater. She's just
not
a
picky
a garbage disposal.
She will eat absolutely anything that you put in front of her.
She's never really, like, every once in a while she'll get tired of a certain thing and she'll throw it on the ground.
Yeah,
but she'll try everything. She'll eat everything. Yeah.
Everything. And Jackson and Riley were more picky.
Yeah.
Jackson now is not picky anymore, but Riley, very picky.
Very
eater.
picky.
Yeah. But that's the main difference I see between the two. At this age, there's not a whole lot that I can compare much more beyond that, because, but I do see that Bella will be very social.
You think so?
I believe she will be very social.
This is a great Nona thing, is that now that you've seen the trajectories enough, you can just start making bold, sweeping claims like a year in.
Oh, no question. She will be very social. And Riley is the same way. Riley was very social at that young age as well.
Yeah.
Jackson, not so much, but definitely she's going to be a.
What about me and Eric?
You were probably a little more social than Eric was. Until Eric became, until Eric was like later in high school.
And then he blossomed.
Yeah. He had a lot more, but you were always very talkative and social, and
I remember starting a lot being a little bit conversations about the Ninja Turtles with adults, and then immediately watching their eyes glaze over. Like, that
was one of your passions in your young days. You loved the Ninja Turtles.
I can explain every character. Who they were aligned with, what they did.
And when you were younger, it was the Transformers too. They were a big thing.
Big time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Gloria Young, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
And hopefully.
And thank you for your apology.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
I am number one, I would not be able to do the show if the audience knew that you were mad at me.
Oh.
So that is why I had to bring you on while we are in a conciliatory mood.
So now
I couldn't bring you on and have you be like
pissed at you.
Fuck you, stop calling. Like, no, that would destroy me. The audience is more in love with you than they are with me.
But it took a year. Took a year for me to recover.
Again, it took 2 different conversations.
It did.
It took 2 different conversations. All right. Bye, Mom.
All right. Bye, everyone.
And that'll wrap it up for us today. Politics, written and hosted by me, Justin Robert Young, for Dog and Pony Show Audio in Austin, Texas. Shout out to Will Saddleberg, our producer and editor. You can email me, theyoungamerican@gmail.com. You can find me, Justin R. Young, on TikTok, Instagram, and X. And Justin R. Young on Sora. Obviously, you're not going to find clips of the show there. But if you have a Sora invite, you can find me, Justin R. Young, there too. YouTube is Politics. Love our YouTube audience. Thank you guys so much. Full video of the show. You can see my mom in living color. If you're on the YouTube, you can support us with a one-time donation. PayPal.me/PaidJury. Venmo is Justin-Young-20. Cash App is PX3Cash. And checks, well, you can send anything you'd like to our P.O. Box, Post Office Box 153184, Austin, Texas 78715. Our bonus content, it only comes to the Substack. TakePoliticsSeriously.com. Paying members get 2 bonus episodes each and every week, either $3 a week or $99 for one entire year. That's 150 episodes of PX3 for under $100. But it's only at the foundational tier that you get your name read at the end of the show, like these fine folks. Roll the list, Will.
Sonny Black, L3PO, Peepaw, Scott, Middle Age Mike, Tom, Sarah Jeannie, Jeremy, Pro Idiot, Chiller Tomatoes, oh yeah, it's Adam, Neil, AB Puppy, Just Another Pilot, Dr. Whiskey, Michael, Fat Tony's PJs from New York, Will, The Borge, B, Matthew, Matt, Andrew, Edwin, Sam, Andrew, Phil, Edison, Devon, Paul, A Dog Named Checkers, Jerry, Trucker, John, Berkeley, Steven, and Zombie Doc.
And that is it for us this week. Thank you so much for joining us as we begin our Listener Appreciation Week. We might have a little bit of schedule oddities next week. Just heads up. Lot going on the old GCal these days, and things are sliding around. We will do our best to keep everything on schedule for you. We will definitely have our Sunday edition on time for you. But until then, friends, thank you very much for joining us. A reminder that some shows talk about politics, others talk about politics, and still more discuss politics. But this, friends, this is the only show that dares discuss all 3.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
Dog and Pony Show audio.